The polka dot door, the polka dot door. Let's peep through the polka dot door. Songs and stories and so much more. Through the polka dot door, this is the time we always say. Get ready, get set for Imagination Day. We'll tell some tales, we'll pretend and play. So come in the polka dot way.
Take a good look, Johnny.
All right, I think I'm ready. Oh, hi. Salut.
Hello, bonjour. We're playing a game called Who Lives at the Pond? We're going to take these cards out of the picture and then try to remember where they go. Why don't you play with us?
Look at the animals. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them to remember.
I think I'm ready. Each card has a number on it that's the same as one of these numbers. When the 2 numbers match up, we'll know we have the right card. Okay, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Here's my first one. But be careful, there are some trick cards too. It's a great blue heron. Now, what number tells us where it lives at the pond?
Can you guess? I think it's number 1.
Let's see if you're right. Right. If you remembered that, good for you. The great blue heron is a bird that likes to wade in shallow waters. It likes to dart its long bill into the water looking for food.
Here's our next animal. What number tells us where this animal lives at the pond? Did I fool you? A penguin doesn't live at the pond. A penguin lives at the Antarctic, where there's lots of ice and snow.
How about this turtle? What number tells us where it lives at the pond?
Have you guessed? I think it's number 2.
Very good. And the pond is a good place for this turtle to find all the insects and the plants that it likes to eat.
Here's our next animal. A beaver. Now, what number tells us where the beaver lives at the pond?
Have you guessed yet? I think I know. I'm going to say it's number 4.
Let's see. Right, it is number 4. And the beaver goes right here, next to its lodge, which is made of sticks and branches.
Here's my last one. Where does the monkey live at the pond? He doesn't, does he? It's another trick card. The monkey lives in the jungle, where it's nice and warm.
Here's my last card. A fish. What number tells us where the fish lives? Right. A fish must live at number 3. So it goes right here. Here it can swim about and find all the plants and insects it likes to eat. But it better watch out for this fisherman.
How did you do on our game? If you remembered where all 4 animals live, good for you. You've got a good memory.
You'll need a good memory to sing our song of the week. Why don't you sing it with us? And do the actions too.
Once there was a little flea who flew around a big oak tree. Snip, snap, clip, clap, elbow and a knee. The flea just said, "You can't catch me." Next a fly came buzzing by. He thought that he ought to try. The fly went buzz and chased the flea all around the big oak tree. Snip, snap, clip, clap, elbow and a knee. The flea just said, "You can't catch me."
Next a crow came flying past. He said, "I can go that fast." So the crow went caw and chased the fly.
The fly went buzz and
Chased the flea all around the big oak tree. Snip, snap, clip, clap, elbow and a knee. The flea just said, you can't catch me.
A cat was cleaning off her face, then she leapt into the race. The cat went meow and chased the crow.
The crow went caw and chased the fly.
The fly went bzz and chased the flea.
All around the big oak tree. Snip, snap, clip, clap, elbow and a knee. The flea just said, you can't catch me. A dog was lying in the sun. He said, hey, that looks like fun. So the dog went woof and chased the cat.
The cat went meow and chased the crow.
The crow went caw and chased the fly.
The fly went bzz and
Chased the flea all around the big oak tree. Snip, snap, clip, clap, elbow and a knee. The flea just said, you can't catch me.
A goat was munching on some hay. He said, it's my lucky day. The goat went baa and chased the dog.
The dog went woof and chased the cat.
The cat went meow and chased the crow.
The crow went caw and chased the fly.
The fly went bzz and
Chased the flea all around the big oak tree. Snip, snap, clip, clap, elbow and a knee. The flea just said, you can't catch me. A bear was strolling through the woods. He said, this looks very good. So the bear went roar and chased the goat.
The goat went baa and chased the dog.
The dog went woof and chased the cat.
The cat went meow and chased the crow.
Crow went caw and chased the fly.
The fly went bzz and
Chased the flea all around the big oak tree. Snip, snap, clip, clap, elbow and a knee. The flea just said, you can't catch me. Oh, there's the story time clock. I better go because I'm telling the time and we're both in the story.
All right. I'll just finish and tidy up here, and then I'll get ready for the story too.
Hello, Storytime Mouse. I see you're all ready to go fishing. Well, you'll always remember to wear your life jacket around the water, won't you? Have fun fishing, Mouse. Let's tell the time together. The long minute hand has moved 3/4 of the way around the clock and is pointing to the 9. So it's 1/4 something. The short hour hand is pointing almost to the 1. So story time today is 1/4 What would you do if you went fishing and you caught a magic fish? Would you keep it as a pet? Or maybe you would go on TV with it? Well, our story today is about a poor fisherman who catches a magic fish. Carrie is going to play the fisherman's wife, Clara, and I'm going to play the fisherman whose name is Peter. The story is called The Magic Fish.
Where is that husband of mine? Late, as usual.
Clara, I'm home, dear.
Peter, where have you been?
I've been at the pond, my pumpkin. I saw a great blue heron, a turtle, and look.
You caught a fish.
Not just any fish. This is a magic fish. I've never seen a fish like this before.
Well, it does look a little different.
What's that?
Could it be the wind?
Clara, the fish. Clara, Peter, it is I.
A talking fish?
Clara, Peter, if you put me back into the water, I will grant you 3 wishes. Clara, just think what we could wish for.
Oh, quick, return the fish to the pond. Now, what shall I wish for? Well, money, of course, lots of it, and a big house with lots of servants to do the cleaning.
Clara, I have done as the fish has asked. We now have 3 wishes.
Oh, this is so exciting. What shall we wish for first? Well, let me see. Money and a mansion. How about fine clothes?
First, we should wish for a kangaroo.
A kangaroo?
Yes, I have always wanted an unusual pet.
And who's going to feed this kangaroo and clean up after it and wash it? Me, I suppose.
Well, I thought that
Oh,
since
you
were
want a
already
kangaroo?
dead-
I wish you were a kangaroo. Peter, what are you doing? Shoo! Shoo, shoo, shoo! Shoo, Peter! Whoa! Whoa! Shoo! Peter! Oh no, I made a wish! Oh, magic fish, I cancel my wish!
Oh. Clara, how could you? You used up one of our wishes.
Oh, forgive me. I couldn't help it. The thought of all that cleaning.
Is that all you can think about is that broom? Sometimes, Clara, I wish that broom would just up and fly away.
Whoa! Whoa!
Clara, what are you doing? Oh no. Oh no. No, I used a wish. Oh no. Magic fish, I canceled my wish. Oh. Forgive me, my pumpkin.
Of course I forgive you. But let's quickly make our last wish before we waste it too. Let's wish for money and clothing and jewels.
My pet, I think we should calm down first. Then we can wish wisely. That sausage sure does smell good. Yes, let's eat dinner first, then wish.
You want to eat a greasy sausage when we could wish for the finest food in all of the land?
But it smells so good.
Oh, honestly, Peter, if you want it so badly, I wish it would stick to your nose. Oh, Peter! Oh, I made another wish. Oh, magic fish, I canceled my wish.
Clara, how could you? Our last wish.
All of them gone.
Why
wouldn't you?
Well, we may have wasted all of our wishes, but at least we have each other. And there is nothing more valuable than love and friendship.
And that we have in abundance. Come on, let's eat supper.
And that's the end of our story. Let's pretend that we're a magic fish, but we're tired of being a magic fish. So we make a wish to be a kangaroo. And we go hopping everywhere. And we're tired of being a kangaroo, so we make another magic wish to be a bird. And we go flying through the skies. Ooh, and we're tired of being a bird, so we make another magic wish to be ourselves. And we sit down and relax.
There you go, Dumpty. The toys wanted to make some wishes too, for some things they could play with in the sandbox. Dumpty said that he'd like to have a boat. So I made him a lake steamer from an empty milk carton and a small cereal box that we had in our recycling bag.
Ahoy, toys! Can I come aboard?
Captain Dumpty says, aye, aye. You're just in time to sail the 5 Great Lakes. From Lake
Superior we will start, across Lake Michigan looking smart. Past Huron and Erie we will go, all the way to Lake Ontario. With a port and a starboard shivers and shakes, we'll sail across the 5 Great Lakes. With a port and a starboard shivers and shakes, we'll sail across the 5 Great Lakes. And Bear, what sandbox toy do you wish for? Bear says he'd like a lake steamer just like Dumpty's.
What's that, Dumpty? Dumpty says you can share his, Bear.
Pardon, Bear? Bear says thank you, Dumpty.
And Marigold, what toy would you like to wish for? Marigold says she'd like to wish for a rocket ship.
What's that, Humpty? Humpty says that's what he was wishing for, too.
Well, maybe the two of you can share as well. Now, what do we have in our recycling bag that will make a rocket ship? Well, here's a start. Maybe you could make that into a nose cone for the end of the rocket.
All right.
Here's some tape.
Thank you.
Now, this will do for the main body. This is a cardboard tube that's been painted red. This should do it. Put that right in the sand. Now, I think what we need is a rocket tail. Maybe I can just cut one out from this paper plate. Always remember, if you want to cut something, to ask a grown-up first. Now, this should do just fine. There we go. Need a piece of tape on the back. This will be a fine rocket ship, Marigold. There it is. A rocket tail. Perfect.
And here's your nose cone.
That's
All
great.
right.
There. A rocket.
Are you ready to blast off, astronauts Marigold and Humpty? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off!
Our rocket ship can zoom so high, climbing way up in the sky, circling around the moon, and then we'll return to Earth again. With a port and a starboard, me oh my, we'll zoom across the starlit sky. With a port and a starboard, me oh my, we'll zoom across the starlit sky.
There we go. Back down to Earth, astronauts Marigold and Humpty. What's that, Humpty? All that space travel made you thirsty? All right. I'll go get us some fruit juice in the kitchen.
Great. See you later. Have you ever wished that you could travel through space on a rocket ship? Well, if you look through the Polka Dot Door, you'll see astronauts on the Space Shuttle Discovery, and you can imagine that you're flying with them. Are you ready? Let's look. It's early morning on the day of the launch. The astronauts head for the launch site. Soon they're on board the space shuttle waiting for blastoff. There they go. The powerful rocket engines blast them into space. The astronauts prepare for their first experiment. In space, people and things have no weight, so they float. This astronaut almost lost his camera. He's going to film the launching of a satellite. These doors are called a sun shield. They're protecting the satellite from the sun's rays. The satellite starts spinning and off it goes. A perfect launch. There are 2 more satellites to launch. This one doesn't spin like the first one did. Oops, careful. This astronaut is preparing to launch the third satellite. Another perfect launch. At night, the astronauts can watch lightning flashing in the clouds down below. Meanwhile, there are many more experiments to carry out. Each astronaut has his own experiments to do. This is called a solar ray wing. In the future, it could use sunlight to power a spacecraft or a space station. The astronaut watches as the wing is fully extended. Repairs must be done as well. It's important to have firm footing. There's also time for some play. When it's mealtime, the astronauts put packages of dried food into a water dispenser. They mix the water with the food. Wonder how it tastes. I hope you don't try to pass the food like this at your dinner table. It's important to exercise every day as well. The astronauts need to be in top physical condition. At night, the astronauts sleep in their sleeping bags. Their arms float because they're so relaxed. Finally, it's time to return to Earth. The space shuttle's landing gear comes out. A perfect landing. The mission was a success. The astronauts look happy to be back on Earth. Welcome home. Wasn't that a lovely trip?
Polkaroo!
Did you hear something?
Polkaroo!
It sounded like the polkaroo.
Polkaroo! Polkaroo!
It is the polkaroo. How'd you do?
Polkaroo!
How are you?
Polkaroo!
What do you say?
Polkaroo!
Polkaroo. Well, polkaroo, what are you wearing?
Polkaroo! Polkaroo!
You're pretending to be an astronaut. Oh, you want to play that you're going up in space.
Polkaroo! Polkaroo!
No, you aren't pretending. You really want to be an astronaut.
Polkaroo!
Well, I don't think they're accepting polkaroos into the space program just yet.
Polkaroo!
Well, probably not for a few years, polkaroo.
Polkaroo! Polkaroo!
Well, what is that?
Polkaroo!
A rocket pack? Well, Polkaroo, you are certainly determined to go up in space, aren't you?
Polkaroo.
Well, I'll tell you what. How about if you do your best and we'll imagine that you're floating through the sky?
Polkaroo.
All right, are you ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! Imagine, imagine, you can imagine Polkaroo flying in space. Imagine, imagine, you can imagine he's zooming all over the place. Right round the moon, then he circles the stars, sailing past Jupiter, Saturn, and Mars. Imagine, imagine, you can imagine Polkaroo flying in space. Whoa! Whoa! Polkaroo! Well, you certainly had quite a trip, didn't you?
Polkaroo.
Well, too bad you couldn't have brought me a souvenir.
Polkaroo. Polkaroo.
Why, Polkaroo, what's this?
Polkaroo. Polkaroo.
Oh, Polkaroo, it's beautiful, but where did you get it?
Polkaroo.
But Polkaroo, you weren't really up there in Polkaroo? Now, where did he go? That Polkaroo, always playing tricks. And I wonder where he got this star.
Star? What star?
This one. The Polkaroo gave it to me.
Polkaroo was here? And I missed him again.
He just left. Oh, and it's almost time for us to go too. Bye-bye. Au revoir.
À bientôt. See you soon. Now, what was he up to this time?
You should have seen him. He was pretending to be an astronaut, and we were imagining that he was floating through the sky.
Polkaroo? In space?
And then he gave me this star. But the more I look at it, the more it looks like little pieces of cheese all taped together.
Well, what was he doing? I mean, he couldn't have gone into space without a spaceship.
No, but he had a space helmet, and on his back, he had a rocket pack.
Rockets? Real rockets?
The polka dot door, the polka dot door. See you soon at the polka dot door for songs and stories and so much more. Through the polka dot door,